I'm going to call the meeting to order for the regular council meeting Monday, September 18th. I'm going to start with the acknowledgement of treaties of peace and friendship. We would like to begin by acknowledging that the land on which we gather is traditional unceded territory of the Mi'kmaq peoples. This territory is covered by the treaties of peace and friendship, which Wolastoqiyik, Mi'kmaq, and Passamaquoddy peoples first signed with the British Crown in 1726. The treaties did not deal with surrender of lands and resources, but in fact recognized Mi'kmaq Wolastoqiyik title and established the rules for what was to be an ongoing relationship between nations. Thank you. Next is the reaffirmation of the oath of office. We do hereby accept the office of council and will diligently, faithfully, and impartially discharge to the best of our ability the duties of the office as may be imposed upon us by law. Next is a moment of reflection. Deputy Mayor Carmichael. A moment of silence, please. Thank you. Next is the adoption of the agenda. Do we have any additions, subtractions, changes to the agenda of any sort? Can we get a mover to accept the agenda then as is?
M 2023-09-18-132, that the agenda be adopted as presented.
Any seconder?
I'll second it.
All those in favor say aye. Aye. All those opposed say nay. Statements of conflict of interest. I'll be declaring one as we move along. If anyone else has one to declare, see the clerk. The adoption of the minutes. Can I get a mover for that?
M 2023-09-18-133, that the minutes of the Committee of Whole Council meeting of August 8, 2023, the special meeting of August 17, 2023, and the regular meeting of August 21, 2023 be adopted as presented.
Can I get a seconder?
I'll second it.
On the motion, all those in favor say aye. All those opposed say nay. Motion passed. Business arising for the minutes. We then move on to presentations, and we have one from the Royal Canadian Legion, Durham Branch 77.
Let me begin by, first of all, thanking Council for the opportunity to make a presentation. September 17th to September 24th is Legion Week across Canada. Many legions are doing various things across Canada to promote the organization and bring it forward. With that said, we certainly recognize that, we are a very loyal and very distinguished organization. So I've asked, I'll introduce our Deputy District Commander of the North Shore District, also the President of our Legion, Durham Branch 77, Clifford Junkus. We were going to have the Ladies Auxiliary here, but at the end of the day, they just finished a very successful dinner going on beginning the week. It is a memorial supper that has been going on for about 8 years now, and it has been a very successful, highly emotional type event. We recognize those who we wish to remember who have passed on, whether it be in our family or whether you wish to just remember somebody in honor. But with that said, it was a very successful event, and the women are recovering from that. So if I may, I've been asked if I would read their presentation. So if I may, and there's no objection, I'll begin with the presentation of the Ladies Auxiliary. Deputy Commander Junkus, members of council. The Ladies Auxiliary Durham 77 was chartered in 1968 and have been involved with fundraising now for over 55 years. The auxiliary consists of approximately 80 ladies who have worked towards assisting our Legion financially. Our funds are raised by doing many different types of events. The main source of funding is the weekly bingo that runs from mid-March to mid-December every year. This bingo has been ongoing for over 27 years. The auxiliary also organized funeral celebrations for many of the local residents in our surrounding communities. Every year, the ladies have done a garage sale at the Legion, and this event has been very successful. The auxiliary is very active during Baldoon Days, and our sincere appreciation to council for supporting the activities we have agreed to sponsor. The ladies also organize a craft sale in late November, and this event is very well attended and very well supported. The auxiliary also hold breakfast several times a year and many special dinners throughout the year. All the funds that are raised by the auxiliary are collected, and each year on November 11th, they make an annual donation to the Legion. The auxiliary is open to all those who wish to be involved and who are looking for a very worthy cause to be both fun and satisfying. Anyone wishing for information on the organization or to join may contact me at any time. And this is from the president of the Ladies Auxiliary, Gail Bork, and you can call her at 506-237-5809. Just prior to asking Deputy Commander and President Junkus to talk about our Legion, I'd like to cover what the commander of the North Shore District does, so I will read it, just a short presentation if I may. I am preparing this report on behalf of all 8 legions in northern New Brunswick. The rally to elect new representatives for our area was held on May 27, 2023 at the Durham Branch 77. Comrade Ron Burke was elected as the new district commander, and Clifford Junkus was elected as the new deputy district commander. The new secretary treasurer for our district will be Comrade Gail Bork from Durham 77. Many of the legions in northern New Brunswick are experiencing many of the same issues. The cost of operating the building has increased dramatically and is affecting the financial operations of many legions to survive. Cost of electricity insurance for the buildings is accounting for most of the revenues that many legions work hard to obtain. Only a few of the legions in the north have an operating ladies auxiliary. I've seen from experience that the auxiliary is the financial lifeline to success. My personal experience with the Ladies Auxiliary at Durham 77 have confirmed that volunteers working together for a common cause is the key to financial freedom. I am aware that Dalhousie Branch number 17 is doing some very positive fundraisers. They conduct a Chase the Ace draw every week and have the support of many of the locals. They also have secured the services of the local entrepreneur who operates a restaurant in a portion of their building. I'm also aware that the Campbellton Branch number 19 is conducting dances on a weekly basis, and this fundraiser is the main source for funding for this facility. The Herman J. Good VC Branch number 18 from Bathurst is settled into their relocated facility in Bathurst. This facility will be much easier financially than the old building that was sold. The Carrot Cat Branch 56 is the most active legion in our area. They have a very strong and active membership and are very well organized. The other 3 legions in the district, the Legion de Lille 92, Tracadie Shiloh 45, and Athenal 42, may be smaller but are active and have managed to keep their financial obligations. As the commander for the district, I've set some personal goals which I will work towards during my time in this position. The main issue will be to operate a line of communication with all branches. All branches seem to share the common problem of having active members. Many branches have memberships, however, that does not guarantee success at the branch. Each branch must work with the people who give so freely of their time. Personalities sometimes play a role in who is willing to accept an active position in any legion. The success of any branch will be the ability to work with the auxiliary and the executive of any branch. Reports are made of any branches of their operations, and the person responsible for issuing those reports must have an obligation to the branch, provincial command, and Dominion command. I will request that each branch have a commitment that these individuals be dedicated to making timely reports as required. I am also concerned that membership fees will cause some concerns for some individuals in some branches. A legion will not get rich on the membership funds collected. However, a strong and active membership is the key to being successful. I've seen many of the volunteers who join the Legion do some very positive activities for their Legion and their community. The positive attitude from these individuals is sometimes contagious. Many of these people are dedicated to working towards a common objective and do it with very little in return. I've said that my personal reason for being a Legion member is because I consider it a privilege to be affiliated with those who have sacrificed so much so that I can enjoy the freedom we have in this country. I do wish to extend to all Legion members and those who work within our organization my sincere appreciation for your time and effort. I observed the actions of many and found the efforts of the few to be where my inspiration comes from. I will always try to be a positive example for those who will follow and hope that the efforts from the past are enough to make my Legion an example of what others are striving to achieve. In closing, everyone cannot be a leader. However, no one can be a leader if no one is following. Thank you very much. Now I would ask Comrade Deputy Commander Junkus, President of Durham Branch 77, if you would brag about our Legion a little bit.
Thank you. North Shore Commander Burke, Mr. Mayor, Member of Council. The Royal Canadian Legion Durham Branch 77 is a confirmed non-profit organization. Our charter began in September 1968, and we served this community now for over 55 years. Our Legion has 72 members, with an executive of 9 members and 4 life members at our branch. Durham number 77 has 2 bank accounts, which serve 2 different purposes. The general account pays the day-to-day expenses such as power, telephone, and insurance. The Poppy Fund is used only to support veterans and their families. Each account raises funds in 2 different manners. The general account is funded through donations, hall rentals, and fundraising events. The major supporter for the fundraising is the Ladies Auxiliary, and they are the main source of funding for our Legion. Each year on November the 11th, our annual luncheon, the auxiliary makes a presentation for their donation to our branch. Our auxiliary is the largest contributing auxiliary to any Legion in all of New Brunswick. I wish to recognize this accomplishment because these ladies are very dedicated to the welfare of our Legion. The member of the Legion and the Ladies Auxiliary work very closely together to organize many events. A few examples of this is the auxiliaries holding a 50-50 draw on November 11th, and the Legion members are helping to sell tickets. The auxiliary also held a memorial supper on Saturday, September the 16th, and this event is for the community to remember loved ones who have passed. There is also a dinner where neighbors and friends can share a meal together. The Legion also awards bursaries to local students who wish to further their education either at the community college or university. The Legion extends to Council our sincere appreciation for the activities we sponsor during Beldoon Days. The activities are very well attended and very successful. The Poppy Fund is funded only by the wreaths and donation made during the 10 days prior to November the 11th. The monies collected are placed in the fund for bursaries for the family members of veterans, expense for traveling by a veteran who may need to go to the hospital or just experiencing difficulty financially. Our Legion has activities such as shuffleboard and darts. As president, I extend an open invitation to all those who wish to be involved with a dedicated group of men and women to come and join our Legion. The Legion or the auxiliary is always open to anyone looking to be involved in their community in a worthwhile manner. Please free to contact me at any time at 506-507-0054. Thank you. President Durham Branch, Clifford Junkus.
That basically concludes the issues we wish to bring forward. We do want to extend to anyone who is hearing this or is involved to feel free at any time to either contact myself or President and Deputy Commander Junkus. Our Legion is open for anyone wishing, and I extend that also on behalf of the Ladies Auxiliary, that any lady wishing to be involved or more information, feel free, contact President Gail Bork or the past president would be Cheryl Jones. So if there are no questions, that basically concludes where we wish to go and the items we wish to bring forward.
I'm just curious to know, so prior to the election, before you were in this position, what position were you in prior to that?
Well, every year there's a rally held at a branch. So this year it happened to be at our, like next year it's already planned to be in Caracat. So it's always planned a year ahead of time so that you know where you're going. This year it happened to be in Bathurst, in Beldoon here. You know, I was just a Legion member and involved with the Legion as in the various positions that I hold within the Legion.
Okay.
I am a past commander. Six years ago, I was also the commander at that time. It's a 2-year term.
Okay.
So, you know, I enjoyed it, so I re-offered and was nominated and accepted.
I wasn't sure how that worked, like same as like to be the president or whatever, is it like just local election or?
If you're a member of the Legion, you know, these rallies are open. Each Legion can only send so many delegates, but you can come as a guest. And if you're there as a guest, you can be nominated from the floor.
Okay.
So
And once you're a member, like all members have like equal
yes.
standing. So you would be considered a member and you'd be representing the Legion.
Yeah.
So I guess last winter then when I said you were in a conflict of interest over the village donating the money to the hockey tournament where the Legion collect the benefits from, you would have in fact been in a conflict of interest at that time then.
But I don't benefit personally from it. It has to be a personal benefit, but I'm not getting into that at this
Okay.
point in time.
Okay.
All right, anybody else? That's not the place for that.
I want to thank you very much for the presentation. It's very interesting. It's very informative. So thank you for taking the time to present that to council.
Thank you, Cliff, thank you, Councilor Burke. We move on to council members. Councilor Guitar McDonnell, you had a couple?
I have a motion, M 2023-134, that the Village of Beldoon approve a $5,000 request to host the Beldoon Volunteer Firefighters Awards Banquet for October the 14th.
Anyone have any discussion on that, or? Yeah. Okay, get a second. Can we get a,
I'll second it.
okay, did you read the full motion, or?
Sure, I can read it again. M 2023-134, that the Village of Beldoon approve a $5,000 request to host the Beldoon Volunteer Firefighters Awards Banquet.
Can I get a second?
I second it.
On the question, all those in favor say aye. Aye. All those opposed say nay. Motion passed. CAO Lee.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. So the first item I have is for the grant report and recommendation that came in. So I've provided all the information to council. There was 2 items that came outside of the regular scope for grant allocation. So that is one item to use the rec center at no cost for the Evangel mission team. And there was also the contribution to the Chamber of Commerce Business Gala. I do understand that there was communication around donating the same that we did last time, which was the $500 bronze donation. I didn't know if that was set in stone, so I left that blank. So whoever wants to take that motion can, or if there's discussion to be had, you can, I'll leave that to council. But I've left that blank right now. We can fill that in with one of the sponsorship levels.
Okay, so do we have a mover then?
M 2023-09-18-135, that the CAO grant report for September be accepted, presented, recommendations approved for the following grants. Use the rec center at no cost for the fundraiser by the Evangelist Mission Team, and I believe we had agreed to $500 contribution to the Chamber of Commerce Business Excellent Award Gala.
Can I get a seconder?
I'll second it.
On the question?
If I may, Your Worship. This group, the the Mission Group. They did a presentation at our memorial supper on Saturday evening. An outstanding job and highly, highly informative on what they do. There are two local residents, and they are highly involved in this, and they deserve to be commended for their efforts and their time and what they do for people in let's say, a less advantaged position. But with that said, they have a group of individuals in northern New Brunswick that travel to these areas basically annually. They collect various items that they can bring with them to pass out. They help, young women who, let's say, are pregnant, and they bring things that they could use and help, and try to help them deal with the issues they have. But they also help to build homes and build buildings that are going up there, and they do it. And they don't go there as the boss. They go there as workers to work. And I just thought they deserved to have recognition here at this today, in the sense of saying that we can be very proud that Baldoon has two people that are dedicated to such a worthy cause and do it at their own expense, and then try to raise funds that they can help other people in other countries. So for me personally, and I'm sure for anybody who's seen that presentation Saturday night, it was highly emotional. They deserve a tremendous amount of credit, and for me personally, to know that people from Baldoon are recognizing, are traveling, say, in places of less advantage around the world, and they deserve a lot of credit. So I congratulate them and thank them very much for their time and effort.
All right, thank you. So on to the,
I have something
Yeah.
to say. Yes, they've been doing this for years, and they're very good. So I'm sure that, I don't know if they're going to put the announcement, what time and date that their spaghetti supper is, but it's always nice to know that. Also, the other thing is that the Chambers of Commerce, there's 2 tickets that comes with the donation. I don't know if anybody's interested in attending, but I think that somebody should be attending. And I know there's also conflict with maybe I'm not sure if the fire department meeting is on that same evening, so if we could maybe change if it is, change the meeting to another date, and I would be interested but if 2 others are interested to attend, I don't mind stepping back. I went last year, so I would be interested in attending the gala.
anyone else? On the motion, all those in favor say aye. Aye. All those opposed say nay. Motion passed. Financial reports.
For the financial reports, so a bit of a struggle to get these together. I'm very happy that we were able to get up to date with, especially for the information that's pulled out of our financial system. So all of those reports that were in previously are back in there. If council has any questions on it, please feel free to reach out. I'll also encourage you to, if there is sort of specific stuff about the budget that you do want to know about, please reach out, because as we're working through this process, it's really letting us get deep into some of the things that aren't always on the surface. I think what I'll do, Mr. Mayor, if that's okay, is we do have both the May and the June general operating and utility operating funds there. We do not have the July and August as well as September. They will be on the October ones. There is a motion to accept the financial reports. What we'll do at the October meeting is we'll follow suit as we have for the last several years, and I can go through both the general operating and utility operating in October for the up-to-date funds. But there is a motion there, M2023 0918 136, to accept the financial reports.
Do we have a mover?
M 2023-09-18-136, that the financial report be accepted as presented.
And a seconder?
I'll second it.
On the motion? On the question, all those in favor say aye. All those opposed say nay. Motion passed. Next, bylaws and policies.
Okay, we've got one item for motions and resolutions. So just very high level on this one. I know I sent the information off to council, but this was kind of a last minute thing that came in from the engineering firm, and I don't really like last minute things. I know that I only moved this out to council last Friday. So very high level, the resolution that we have here on the agenda actually came from Boissonneau and McGraw. In the conversations that we're having about this project, initially they had thought that they could go to an invitational tender for it. And then when we were discussing sort of the procurement and everything around it, they recognized that it needed to go to public. So it's usually their practice whenever they need to do that, that they would request a resolution from council to go to put that tender out. So this resolution was actually provided by them. So yeah, we've got 2023-09-18-137. We'll need a mover and a seconder. If there's any questions, I can do my best to answer.
M 2023-09-18-137, be it resolved that the Village of Beldoon authorizes the engineering company Boissonneau McGraw proceeding with tendering and construction for the cross culvert replacement and new ditching at New Road.
Need a seconder?
I'll second it.
On the question, all those in favor say aye.
I have questions.
Yep.
I know that this has been long coming. I'm just wondering if this job, it's on property, and if we have all the documentation, and is it on this, like, are we crossing somebody else's property to do the work? That's my question on that, and because I don't know, if I had somebody that had water issues next door to me, I wouldn't want people crossing my property. So I'm just wondering if everything is in order when it comes to that before this goes forward.
So I can kind of speak on that. So yeah, most of the work that's being done here is on private property. There is the work that is being done on municipal. I'm pretty unfamiliar with work being done on private property. We hadn't done that previously. One of the things definitely that we do need to have in place is some sort of an easement or an agreement about the assets that are there. My understanding is that there's one of two ways that you can go with easements. Number one, you can have the property owner, wherever you're going to have assets that you invest in on their property. Number one is to have an easement that allows for the municipality to go onto the land to maintain it, or it's a transfer of assets, saying, okay, you know, we're installing this to resolve a problem, but now it's going to the property owner, and then the assets get transferred over to them, and then it sort of removes the municipality from maintenance and repair on it. But as for that's to the best of my ability, or at least the information that I've had. I do understand I'm a little bit late to the dance on this one. This was something that was agreed to before. So I certainly don't mind to get a little bit more information on that. But my understanding is, first and foremost, is the easement is important to have in place, which we can put together pretty quickly.
So was the owner of the property contacted already, or is it the same person that's getting the work?
Looking at the maps, to me, I mean, the property owner that is suffering the issues that raise this, it looks to me like the majority of the work is actually not on their property. So I would suggest that it's probably the adjacent property owner that, which again, I'm not exactly sure what dialogue council might have had with the property owner, but I certainly don't mind to reach out. I do know who owns that property, so I can certainly reach out to them just to communicate with them, everything that's going on, if that hasn't been done yet.
Okay. We have a motion. Do I have a mover? Have we already done that? Okay, can I get a seconder? If I've already done that. On the question, all those in favor say aye. All those opposed say nay.
Nay?
So we have one nay. Deputy Mayor Carmichael. Next is the closed meeting, correct? Sorry. Correspondence, C.L. Lee.
Okay, so correspondence up until August 2023 for we had a letter from the Department of Transportation and Infrastructure for the Road Ahead Plan. We had a memo from Minister of Local Government working together dated August 23rd, 2023. We have the letter from Kenton White Insurance joining BrokerLink, who is going to take over the municipal insurance, all facets of it. We also have the letter in for the New Brunswick Municipal Finance Corporation offer of debenture that came in. Correspondence out, we had the letter that was pressing pause on Bill 45 in June 2023. And I believe that's it. That's it.
So next, we're off to the closed session, correct? All right, so I guess we'll step out and, yes, sorry, the, motion, can we get somebody to move 138?
M 2023-09-18-138, be it resolved to close the meeting to the public to discuss the following 68 bracket 1 bracket F, information concerning legal opinions or advice provided to the local government by the solicitor and the client of the matter of local government business.
The seconder,
I'll second it.
all those in favor say aye.
Can I just ask a question? Is the mayor declaring conflict of interest on this? It has to be actually filed. The public has to know that a conflict of interest has been filed. That's the procedure.
Well,
It hasn't been
if you've got a
stated, so the
form,
public
I'll-
doesn't know.
If you've got a form, I'll file it. Want me to use this one? Okay. Let me see. On the question, all those in favor say aye. All those opposed say nay. Motion passed. A motion to adjourn?
M 2023-0918-139, that the meeting be adjourned at 8:11.
Need a seconder?
I'll second it.
All those in favor say aye. Motion passed. Meeting adjourned.